a social worker in child psychology, but her real passion leaned toward the metaphysical. Ever since childhood, she'd had a way of knowing things. A gift, some would say. She could read people like an open book, and she would do cold psychic readings for customers if they were so inclined. A large easel and drawing pad were her medium. When people came seeking advice, she would stand behind the easel and draw whatever images came to her. It was uncanny, as Ellie discovered when Luna told her things about Richard that no one could have known. Luna was very low-key when it came to providing insight to customers, even though her reputation was well known. She never solicited. They had to ask. Luna's bohemian wardrobe, granny glasses, and waist-long hair might have been a clue as to her practice, but then again, it was an art center, and many of its denizens wore unconventional clothing. Luna's older brother Cullen took the corner spot on the first floor, next to her cafe. When he'd graduated from college, he was employed in an office, doing office-type things. The type of things that weren't fulfilling for him. When their parents retired from their antiques business, Cullen took it over and expanded it to include restoration, then became a master craftsman, resuscitating discarded furniture. The third person in Ellie's close-knit group was Labichi Chi-Chi Stone, a stunning woman whose handcrafted jewelry was an extension of her beauty. Her parents had brought her and her brother to the States when she was 9. Before moving, her father worked in Kano, Nigeria, and was employed making ceremonial bowls. Chi-Chi showed an interest in the craft at an early age. As she grew, so did her fascination with jewelry. She studied metalsmithing after high school, and during her summer breaks, she visited Nigeria and brought gemstones back to incorporate into her work. Now, at 39, she was renowned for her jewelry, which fetched anywhere from $500 up to thousands of dollars for custom pieces. Chi-Chi and Luna had become best friends, and a romance between Cullen and Chi-Chi began to grow. They often had dinner together, and when Luna's love interest, Marshal Christopher Gaines, was in town, it was always a cheerful occasion. Unless Luna was on one of her missions to solve a mystery, which usually involved one of the items in Cullen's workshop. Then it became a madcap adventure that drew all of them into Luna's world of mystery. Prologue 2. The Caribbean. For their 15th anniversary, a 30-something couple decided to make a return to St. Kitts. With its rolling green hills, fertile land, and pristine sandy beaches, where the deep, rich blue of the Atlantic meets the tranquil turquoise of the Caribbean, St. Kitts is a small island of 50,000 people. Just southeast of Puerto Rico, it beckons visitors to experience its beauty. At only 65 square miles, it's a very low-key alternative to the more popular and much larger islands, like Jamaica and Puerto Rico, which are 7 and 8 times its size. With the exception of the addition of some eateries, water sports, and a golf course, the island had changed very little over the years. It had preserved its casual, slow-paced, easy island vibe. The couple was sitting on the veranda that overlooked Mount Nevis, having their final breakfast of the trip. "I'm going to miss this place," she sighed. "Yeah, me too," he replied, as he scrolled through his phone. "We could stay a few more days. The booking site says it's available." "Really?" "Yeah." He continued to read the information on his phone. "Get this. The house we're staying in is on the market." "For real?" she asked. He began to read aloud. "Beautiful cottage, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, with view of Mount Nevis and the sea. Built 2 years ago, great income property." He stopped. "Yeah, we're the income." "Wait, honey, what are they asking?" "Call for quote." "So call them, for Pete's sake." "Why?" "Income property."